Hi, everybody. How you doing? We have the opportunity to come together to State of Church. I really want to encourage you to tune in and see Tracy's report on the finances and Nick's and Drew's report on what's happening in their area of ministry, especially with family and kids, and also then drop in to see how the school is just blossoming and very busy, though, time of year for them as they are not just trying to finish up this school year, but what they're looking forward to next year. It's that great time of planning, which the church is going through as well. So make sure you check those out as well. But right now, I'm going to turn this over to Ken, and everybody knows Ken by now. If you don't, then you need to come to church. You have the opportunity to meet him and just be wowed by his presence in his awesomeness. Is that right? Is that even a word?
Right? We can cut that out.
No, we're not going to cut that out. You're going to go with it. All right, Ken.
All right. So,
man, what's up?
So we've got a lot of things going on. Just some highlights to point out from the last quarter. We've been working on building a new team. You probably saw this in the bulletin. Carmine Burke is leading up a horn section for our contemporary service. So excited about the work he's been doing there. We're going to be seeing that over the next quarter. They'll be bringing in some musicians into our second service. Kind of think punk, pop horns, that sort of vibe. I said punk. I meant pop horns.
Pop horns.
Pop
okay.
horns. Right. Funk. And pop horns. That's right. So that's the vibe that we're trying to kind of let them explore a little bit. So it'll be a neat artistic element, a way for some of our younger folks to serve yet one more way. So we're excited to see the work that they're doing there. Another thing that we've been doing is we've been trying to reshape either to bring new life to or to see what strategization we need to do around our choir and handbells. As we've come through COVID, we had some changes in the personnel who were able to participate in that. So we're just continuing to try to refresh that. Crystal's taking on some education opportunities this summer to kind of prep her up so that she's ready to roll into the fall. So we're excited to see what happens there, but that's going to be a little bit more longer term as we go into the fall with some new strategies. So be looking for announcements about that. It's a big thing coming up there. One of the highlights from this past quarter was that we had our Lutheran Music Festival. We actually hosted that. I say we. Denise Bates on the school side did a ton of work, led the charge for us in that. Did a great job as she's done in the past. And she led the charge in organizing all of that. And we were able to celebrate musicianship within our school as well as some of our community schools in the area that weren't even in the Lutheran circle. And then, of course, in the Lutheran schools in our greater area. So we had some different groups come in. One of those that I got to lead was the Chapel Praise Band, and they did a great job. We get to see that group. And it's important to highlight here in the state of the church or state of the ministry, because that group gets to, as they graduate into 8th grade and go into high school, they kind of bleed into the life of our Sunday morning worship service. So we're excited about the work that they did. They got top marks and got really good feedback. All of our ensembles, Crystal's, Handbells, the choir, and the symphonic band, they all did great. So really great things.
I heard we did such a great job. We got it for next year.
Yeah, so we
next year.
Yeah, I think we're going to host it next year. Some pretty cool stuff. Maybe get more hands on board in terms of organizing hospitality and things around that core idea that Denise is doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right. So pretty exciting.
Very much so.
Another thing to mention, and we as a church should be seeing this kick off over the next few weeks. We've been doing a lot of prep work this last quarter. Something called we're just referring to as a youth leadership initiative. So this is something we were trying to figure out a way to celebrate the leadership that our youth already exert within our community. And so we see this in our worship services. From our tech teams have youth on them, our musicianship teams, but not just those kind of maybe a little more obvious teams. We have one of our young ladies within the church. She is making sure that the acolytes are scheduled every week, and just that they know what they're doing. That's a big role that she just saw and stepped up into. So that's really cool to be able to celebrate that type of leadership within our church. And we're getting some of our ministry partners highlighting the youth that are serving within those ministry partners as well. So we're able to see what God's doing, celebrate it, and encourage other students to step up into that. So the way we can kind of be around this as a church is, as you see people showing up in those T-shirts that say, ask about the community, how I serve my community, ask those students how they're serving their community, and they would love to tell you that. So excited for y'all to see that. And then, one more highlight from this past quarter was in January. It was a 5 Sunday month. So we took one of those Sundays and had our chapel praise band and our chapel motions team, didn't they? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Both those teams came in and led worship for us on a Sunday. So we've got another one of those. Those come around 4 times a year. So we'll see another one of those this next quarter as well. Really excited about the ministry that God's doing through our hands.
Yep. So is that about it for you?
That's about it. Yeah. All the different initiatives.
Let everybody off easy. I'm not going to let everybody off easy. Why? Because this is really the last state of the ministry until we actually have our voters meeting, which is coming up in June. So there's a lot to cover between now and then that I just want to get people on board with, and this is our opportunity because it's coming out right before Easter. So just kind of running through this real quick. Remember what I said earlier, it's a very busy time. For all of our staff, our men people, they're really working a ton. So if you see them, encourage them, thank them for everything that they're doing. For example, we hit, Ash Wednesday, which seems like it was yesterday, but it's like almost 5 weeks ago now. And it's just been a dead run and will continue to be so. So as we look towards Easter and Holy Week, this next week is the opportunity for Palm Sunday, and then we're in Holy Week. So Monday, Thursday services, Good Friday services, 6:30. You're going to see that in the announcements, of course. Okay, Good Friday is always a very popular service, very strong and powerful service. Monday, Thursday, really encourage you to come. That's where that new commandment has been given to us, and the Lord's Supper has been put in place at that time. But also then we have Easter. And so remember last year, we did it outdoors, and we had this really cool setup where it was programmed into the car radios. So you could sit in your car and listen to it if you're on the property, or have the opportunity to just get out of your car, turn the radio up. We had speakers outside as well. Bring some lawn chairs out. We serve communion outside. We're going to be doing that same thing again at 7 o'clock. And then the regular services at 8:30 and then 10:47 for Easter. Again, we're going to be publicizing that a lot coming up. We've already been hitting it some. The thing that comes after Easter, though, is usually a little bit of a slump. And so the Sunday after Easter, I want to encourage you to try to plan to be here. Okay, we have a very major announcement to make. This is a big deal. And so, we're not going to have Bible classes that day. We're all going to gather together. There's going to be some food. There's going to be some games for kids, hence the no Sunday school thing. Just things for a lot of different people to do and partake in, and really celebrate what God is doing here at St. Paul and through God's people. So this major announcement, again, comes the Sunday after Easter. That's the 24th at both services. Really want to encourage you to be here and be a part of that. May 1st, the very next week, confirmation. May 8th, Mother's Day. That's an important Sunday. It's always a big Sunday. We're always glad to welcome our moms in, the ladies who have had that opportunity to give birth, and we all have a mother. We might not know who our mother was. Maybe we were adopted. That's still a mom in our life, or maybe our moms have passed away. Whatever the case is, it's a great time to celebrate. Then on the 15th, I believe we have a new member class that'll be coming through. I forgot to double check that. I just looked down at my notes here as I'm rolling down through here. We've got about 10 new families, households coming through at that time, which is a pretty nice size spring class. Usually the biggest is in the fall. So we're looking forward to welcoming them aboard. 22nd is going to be graduation, and it's that time of year, all the kids are graduating. So not just an 8th grade graduation here at the school, which is really important. That's a separate celebration, but also just celebrating our seniors who are taking that next life move. Might be the military, might be in the workforce, might be a tech school, might be college, who knows? But God is going to lead them. We want to be able to be a blessing to them, reminding them of their church family is always here for them, and so we want to celebrate that moment in life as a major stepping stone. And then, of course, on the 29th, we've got Memorial Day weekend. I know a lot of you take off for that, have the opportunity to spend time with family, but also it's a time for worship. It's time for Thanksgiving as we celebrate some who have paid the ultimate sacrifice to enjoy the freedoms that we all live under. And so that's just a really important Sunday as well. We've got VBS coming up here this summer, got district convention coming up, got national youth gathering. See what I mean by very busy summer? Got a middle school retreat. All these different things are going to be happening that you're going to be hearing about as we move through and into the summer. Okay, it's not going to be a lot of sitting around for the staff this summer. It's always something coming up. And we're asking ourselves, as core staff, we're asking ourselves as the board of trustees, even the HR finance group, we're all having conversations around what is God leading us to next. And we're excited to think about that. We're excited to dream about that. So you're going to be hearing more about that and having that opportunity. We're even looking at the possibility of having some people come along board and alongside of us that are from outside to help us think big, dream big, and have that opportunity to really have that kind of dig down and see, God has given us a field that's been plowed, not just the school, okay, not just the church, but in this community through our current ministry partners, but, just other opportunities. And we just want to follow the Lord. We just want to go along with where he wants us to go next. So just really looking forward to seeing and taking some time to develop that a little bit and think that through this summer. June 26th, as I mentioned, there's a voters meeting coming up. I didn't give that date, but it is June 26th. And at that meeting, important meeting, it's always our biggest one because it's the approval of the budget. That budget will be made out beforehand so everybody can get it. Also, there'll be a slate of officers up for some reelection and some for new positions or positions to be filled that have been vacated. And so that's two big things. But a third thing that has to happen is, Mr. Ken, we have to take a vote and say that we are, our intent, I guess that's the best way to put it, our intent is to, when he finishes up, since he's been accepted into the SMP program, it's a specialized pastoral ministry program that the seminary has. Most of it's online, so he'll be doing his studies here. Some of you have heard about that on Sunday morning, but maybe you're watching this and you did not hear that. Having that opportunity to have them go to school, it's going to be him. Right. It's going to be Pastor Knazer is going to be his mentor during this time. So it's not all on my plate. And I know everybody's concerned about, hey, are you doing too much? Nah, I'm doing fine. Sometimes. Most times you're doing fine.
There's ways, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, he'll start that in the fall, but we need to make a vote that says our intent is when he completes his studies that we will call him to be our associate pastor. Now, the actual title and the job description we are working on. It won't be just a general associate pastor, but at least for the starts, what it's going to be is probably a worship pastor with some special pieces that come along with that. Plus, he has to have opportunity to learn some new things, right?
Right.
Yep. You're going to get to experience a whole bunch of things that are practical. Mm-hmm. And then how do we apply the theology and the scriptures, because theology is based off scripture, right, to those life moments, whether it's doing shut-in calls or having the opportunity to share Jesus with somebody or teach a Bible study. All those things Ken is going to need to experience in the days ahead. Also, I know that you heard Nick and Drew's, or maybe you will, their opportunity about what is next for Drew, our DCE intern. And so when you have that opportunity to listen, you're going to hear where he's going next. We have applied to do another DCE intern. And so we should know whether we have one of those coming to us again for another year, probably within a month. They're actually coming on campus to do a visit. Drew came out of Nebraska. This time it looks like we may be able to get a DC intern out of Irvine. That's California, by the way, if you didn't know. So anyway, that's one of our Concordias out there, and they've got the possibility of placing a DC intern with us, and we're looking forward to that opportunity, again, to help raise up leaders, not just here, but in the church at large. And it's just really good to be a very healthy place. Right. Care team, I just had a meeting with some very passionate people who want to get involved, and some of them are writing cards. Some of them are willing to do visits. Some are, willing to make those phone calls, quilts, other things, other opportunities to just connect people, not always sick people, but just connect people and keep people connected here. If you would like to be a part of that, drop me an email and I'll let you know when the next meeting is set. They've given me a task of next steps that I need to work through with some certain staff people and have the opportunity to get some things lined up and some more names going. If you'd like to be a part, if you have an idea, we're going to reignite the prayer team, for example, something that has kind of died and faded away. And they're passionate about that, some of them. So we're going to be turning that over to them and have that opportunity to expand, restart and expand that, for example. Just let me know on that. And one last thing. After Easter sometime, we don't do a monthly newsletter like we used to. Yeah, it's very expensive to produce and to send out. We communicate this way much easier now. Most everybody can see what they want to see, but we'll be putting out a newsletter that has a focus on mission and ministry, especially reports from our ministry partners, and then next steps for Drew. There'll be a few other things on there of opportunities to get involved and serve. So be looking for that coming soon. Hey, look, if there's anything, again, that we can do to help you in your growth in faith and love of the Lord, to help you in your marriages or raising your kids, or, just maybe something you're struggling with, don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are walking this together. I'm not a professional counselor, and neither's Ken. Right. Neither's Nick or Drew. But we want to be there to journey with each other because God has given us the opportunity to be family to one another. And so don't hesitate to do that. Let us know what your needs are, and we will do the best that we can to journey with you in everything that is happening in not just my life or Ken's life, but your life, your friend's life. Maybe it's a neighbor. Maybe they're not even connected to the church. You know what? We don't care. We just care about people, and we love to have Jesus be a part of those conversations. So take care. God's blessings. We'll see you at Sunday morning or some other event. And remember, the next time that you're going to have a State of the Church is going to be here at the end of June. Have a wonderful day.